This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 1224, and it's the Relevant Podcast, the first episode of 2025. Here in Orlando, I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Nashville, it's artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What's happening?
Just down the street there, downtown Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
And in LA, you know from Social Club Misfits, it's Marty.
What's going on?
Did you guys have a good New Year's? I mean, I know the listeners, it's 7 days later at this point. Nobody cares. But we're recording this. I haven't talked to the guys since New Year's. So you guys have good New Year's?
I slept.
You did not. Did you really?
No lie, bro. About 11 o'clock, I was like, you know what? This is it. I was watching the one that, I don't know what show. My wife was watching something. The one was Ryan Seacrest. It was everything that Jesse said it is.
It's terrible.
It's just awkward and weird. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go to sleep, bro.
What show is it?
Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve.
Oh, yeah. I was watching the Andy Cohen one.
Yeah. The CNN one is so much better.
Yeah,
Like,
that was so funny.
it's looser. Like the Ryan Seacrest one is so, everything is an ad. Everything is like, it's just unnatural. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I honestly, for New Year's, it was tough because I live 10 minutes away from Disneyland. And those fireworks, and man, they are loud. And it's crazy enough, my little baby slept through all the fireworks. As soon as I put my head on that pillow, he started waking up. And I'm like, what is going on? Like classic baby moves were happening in my house, but we made it through.
We shot off a lot of fireworks from our dock. I kind of handed the baton of my love of fires and explosions to my son, my introverted, kind-hearted son. I actually got him excited about lighting the fireworks this year and
You
stuff.
gave him an M80.
And then he blew up the neighbor's house.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we got all the fancy ones that shoot up in the air, you know, like the real fireworks, you know, and they launch from like tubes. And so we got so many of them, and it's just like one, and then you go, and then you got to load the next one. So I was like, we started daisy chaining them and like rigging the wicks together. And a gust of wind came up, and on the last one of the tubes fell over, and it like shot like sideways, like shot at us. That was exciting.
Daisy chaining fireworks is diabolical,
dude.
That sounds like the most Florida thing I can
This
imagine.
it's like, as a dad, this is what I want to hand down to my kid, is to figure out ways to daisy chain fireworks together.
It hits the water and 500 bass just rise up to the top. Hey, son, we're going to eat fish. Yeah. That's pretty much
what's
going on in
fish.
America.
I had a much different experience than y'all. I was in Chicago with my friends, and we were at a very nice restaurant, which was fun. Almost till midnight. We had to rush home.
Cold, right? I bet.
Oh, so cold. When we were walking back to my friend's apartment, like after midnight, there was like
whoa.
little snow flurries.
That's ice cold, man. That wind chill is just, that's the worst. Like, I've got caught. I know you guys have probably got caught in that wind chill. I've got caught in it before. It's what they say it is. It's like sharp. It hurts.
It cuts through your coat. Like you can't do anything to stop it.
It almost feels like if you don't have chapstick, that is the hardest thing to live your life without chapstick in those environments.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing ever.
It was rough too, because I have like a puffy jacket, but I didn't pack it with me because I didn't have room in my suitcase. And my friend was like, you can just borrow mine, which in my mind, we've borrowed clothes before. It's never been that big of a deal. I do forget though that she is about 5 foot even, and I'm 5'8". And so a long coat on her, not that long on me. So I was wearing like a very short coat. It was thick, but walking through the streets, didn't plan it out that well. But
you need like a pea coat to like you need like a pea coat plus another coat plus a hat.
Yeah. You need
just like Lenny
layers.
Kravitz.
Well, I'm glad we're all back together. 2025, it's going to be a good year.
2025 is crazy. Sorry, we have to say it. Like, we're a quarter of the way through like, that's just insane to me.
Relevant started 25 years ago. It was June of 2000 that I launched the company. That's
Relevant
insane.
Can rent a car. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to go to U-Haul. It's amazing. It's wild. That's incredible.
2020 was 5 years ago. What is going on?
Who's your first guest? Who's your first guest on the Relevant show or the magazine? Like, who is your, like, you nailed this first big guest? Who was your first?
Well, the first big guest was Moby. We had Moby in 2003.
Whoa. Whoa! Not even Emily knows about this.
Yeah, no. So it was that was our third.
I was in third grade, so.
And Moby, you get stung by Obi.
Well, okay. No, actually, let me
was in
back up.
fifth
That's
grade
not
too,
true.
yeah.
That's not true. So our March of 2003, March 2003 is when the print mag came out. And our first cover story was about the 24/7 prayer movement, Pete Gregg. It was like this spiritual movement happening in young adults back then. The second issue, Beyonce was on the cover.
Whoa!
And the third issue
Crazy
was
Love.
Moby. Yeah. So
You
Beyonce.
just put Moby over Beyonce.
I forgot. Here's
You're about to
why.
make the Bayhive so mad right now.
What is wrong with you?
Because Beyonce, we did an interview with her, but we didn't get a photo shoot with her. So like the cover itself was kind of amateur, I felt, so like I don't think of that. Our first time that we had like legit, like we had a photo shoot with Moby at his house in upstate New York. It was incredible. It was like
That's so cool.
A-list.
Were you
Like,
there?
What photo did you use of Beyonce? Did you just
It
go
was
on the internet?
something we had to like license at a stock place, like one of those red carpet, cut her out. Like,
Oh, wow.
it wasn't great, So it was like, and you got to remember 2003, Beyonce wasn't Beyonce yet.
Yeah.
She was just leaving Destiny's Child. She wasn't at the level that we think of, what happened soon thereafter,
Why
but
did y'all talk to her?
she was starring in like a Christian movie with Cuba Gooding Jr. or something.
Oh, the church one, the church choir one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of her covers, though, in this era were a little bit different. Like her Vibe cover was a little interesting. Like her covers now are absolutely incredible. Obviously, they're custom for every single shoot. But if you look at some of her old magazines, it just was in like 2003. Not all pictures were doing well. Like a lot of weird photos in magazines, and like it was, especially when she's breaking out. It's like, is she hip hop? What is she doing after Destiny's Child? She's not so much pop. Is she R&B? There was a lot of conversation to be had there up front. No one knew where she was going to go with her career.
Right. That was the thing. She was going solo from Destiny's Child at that point. It was a B-list movie. It wasn't like she wasn't. Yeah, she
like
wasn't.
Kelly
Beyonce.
Rowland had a big hit right before she blew out. She had that Nelly song, and that was like number one. Everyone loved that. Emily loved that song. She
Is that
tells
the
us
one
all
where
the
she's
time.
on Outlook on her phone?
Yeah, she's on spreadsheets. I love
Excel.
you. Yeah,
She's on
no
Excel.
matter what I do. Yeah,
on her
it's a great
sidekick.
song. Yeah.
Anyway.
That was a huge song. So right before she blows up, her other bandmate is killing it, which is
Yeah. So, I mean, like, again, we were excited to
Different
get her,
time.
but it was just like a phone interview and it wasn't a thing. Moby was like, it was crazy about Moby was he reached out to us.
Oh.
Like he saw our magazine in New York at a newsstand and his people reached out to us because he had been really wrestling with faith and he wanted to have a faith conversation. Like
That's sick.
He was telling us how he had been addicted to pornography and he got set free from that. And he was really like looking for Jesus. And like, it was really fascinating. He really like opened up, whereas like Beyonce was just doing a promo for this role in a movie kind of thing. So
Yeah. With
Well,
Cuba
Beyonce,
Gooding
if you
Jr.
hear this, we will talk to you again.
We'll do
Love
another
to be
one.
on the
If
cover
you want to chat,
again.
you just let me know, and I'll make time for you, Beyonce.
If that's possible.
But like right after she was on our cover, her album came out where she had that like metal, like slingy bra on the cover. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think that's the
It was
gay
like
one, yeah.
super risque. And we got
Yeah.
like, we got banned from Lifeway stores because of Beyonce being so scandalous and she was on our cover. So
What are they doing now?
they're out of business. Derek, what were you doing 25 years ago?
2000?
Yeah.
Printing up awful mixtapes and selling them in the school hallways. That's what I was doing.
How old were you at that time? 2000.
Probably 30.
30 years? No way. Get out of here.
I was in high school, bro.
Yeah. You had to be like 16, right?
Yeah, I was a kid, man. I was a kid playing basketball and rapping. That's what I was doing.
Did you know you wanted to do it as a career at that point?
Oh yeah. When I made my first song, I was like, this is the only thing I want to do. Yeah,
Was it
just-
but for real, like after that? Because I know you went to Middle Tennessee State for music.
Mhm.
Like I knew in high school, like going into college, I knew what I wanted to do. Like I didn't have the idea for Relevant yet, but I knew what I wanted to do. I got the idea for Relevant when I was a sophomore in college.
Oh, wow.
But and then like everything after that was to prepare me for that. You know what I mean?
Right,
Everything I
right.
did educationally, extracurricular, everything was. So in high school, you knew this what you wanted to do. Like, was it then like you
That
were
was
taking
it.
steps toward it? That was it. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, up until Probably like up until like middle school, probably like 5th, 6th grade, I was like, I want to be a scientist. And then I realized I didn't like math. I'm terrible at math.
It's a part of science.
So it's a very important part of science. So I go and you know, people know my story. Me and my dad, one day some dude was freestyling, and I get on the mic and started freestyling. And ever since then, that was it. So it's just music was just all I was going to do since like the 7th, 8th grade. That was it.
Emily, what were you doing 25 years ago?
Well, I was 5 years old, so I was starting kindergarten. Yeah, because I'll be 30 this year, and I'm trying not to think about it too much.
Dirty 30.
I think I was trying to sneak into the Matrix as a kid, because it was like right around that time, it was like 1999, like peering into like 2000. I remember like wanting to go from another like Spy Kids 2, because everyone was talking about the Matrix that just came out like 1999, 2000, and I was like so infatuated with the style of Y2K as a kid. I was really infatuated with that style.
That's what I was going to ask. Do y'all remember? I mean, Emily, you won't, but Y2K was the craziest.
It was a big thing. There's a movie out right now called Y2K from A24 where it's like, what if it really did happen and all these machines try to kill us? Like, you know,
it's like a horror comedy from one of the old SNL guys. It was funny. I liked it.
See, I don't know if it affected the black community in that way, because when we were at church, people was prophesying, and I believe that the bank is gonna lose all of your bank records.
Oh my God, that's scary. That's scary, dude.
Y2K was a come up for us because we was broke.
That's so scary. Yeah.
So everybody's reset to zero.
We was like, reset me, because
let's restart, baby. Reset the debt in 2019.
We sitting there with a pallet of bottled waters and some milk, praying to God that the bank account get reset to zero.
That's hilarious. I remember, because I was skeptical that anything would happen, but I also was like, I'm not a worrier, right? But I also was kind of like, what if it does? And so I remember we had plans of friends. I was living in Nashville at the time. We had plans to go to downtown Atlanta for New Year's Eve. And I remember watching, before we left, when I was in my apartment in Nashville, I remember watching the turnover of the international cities, because, the ones that are like 12, 13 hours in front of us. Before we left, I remember I was watching TV, Sydney is now 2000 and everything's still working. And then I was watching hour by hour, all the cities. Okay, we're good. And then I felt good and we left and went to Atlanta and had a good time. But I remember I was watching to make sure the global, it wasn't like all the lights were getting shut off progressively as the calendar turned.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was a real thing, man. I mean, just for the 2-3 years leading up to it, that was it. Every satellites will fall out of the sky. Yeah. I mean, everything's going to shut down. It's going to be.
Who came up with that? I need to know, because I feel like whoever that person is that came up with that theory is the same person that's responsible for all the conspiracy theories. Is there a governmental conspiracy theory? Like people that's like, you know what? Every year we're going to hit y'all with a conspiracy.
But it was actually based in reality. And so in the early 90s, somebody, whose job it is to spot these things, noticed that all the binary code from the 1950s, the mainframe computers, all the computer codes, the years were just 2 digits. It was 59, 60, 61. And at 99, it was going to go to 00. And that was the issue, that it wasn't going to say 2000. It would look like it was resetting to 0. And so what they then did for 5 years was prepare for the turnover, and they had to change all the codes to go to 4 digit instead of just 2 digit. And the thing is it worked. They were successful, if it's not like nobody did anything and it was just all fine. A lot of companies were spending years and years preparing for it. You know what I mean? So it was just I think the fear was we would miss something and one thing would trigger it,
Well, this is what we're going to do. From now on, we're going to start running America like the black church. The black church will be about to get kicked out of the building. The rent, the lights about to get cut off. Everything about to change. And the bishop will get up there and preach the mess out of sermon. And then will tell us that we need to raise some money. He ain't going to tell us why. but he's just gonna tell us that we need to raise some money, and then we just go I know the church that we was in every month, we probably was about to get kicked out of that building, but you would never know because it's just like somehow it's gonna work out. I believe we need to start instituting that, especially with the advent of social media. Like, my new campaign is like, turn X to the black church. Like, we gonna turn this mother to the black church. I don't want fix it. I do not. That's the best way to fix X. I do not want you to tell me every spiritual thing that could end my life every day. I'm sick of it.
X is changing. I feel like I can't find news anymore, right? It's all like theories now. Like, I couldn't find anything about the Cybertruck guy that happened last week.
Did you see even Elon posted over the holidays? He posted on X an advocation to his community. Can y'all start posting more positive things, please? Like, literally, he was like, wow. Like, can we change the X experience together? Can we, it's like, this is your fault, man. What are you doing?
Bro. But it's not just X. It's everywhere. Like, just you get in the wrong algorithm, you gonna be crazy. Yeah. I'm like, we putting Bishop Jones, Sister Jenkins in charge of X's experiment. My mama, Bishop Jones, Sister Jenkins, and some deacons need to just take over all social media, and I promise y'all, you gonna look, the food gonna be good, everything gonna be good. I don't say nothing else, but I'm just be like, look, put the deacons and the ITs over there.
Good save.
I like it.
I'm gonna let it go. That's what it is. That's my petition. Put the bishops up.
Have you guys, I know we talked last episode, we talked about resolutions and stuff, New Year and all that. A lot of people, and Derek and I are of the same mind. We're just kind of like, we have goals for the year. We're not doing resolutions per se. Marty, you weren't on that show. Do you have resolutions for 2025? You
know what? I was talking to my buddy about this yesterday, where I don't have, like you guys pretty much, like, I don't think I have, like, I see people on IG and I'm like, wow, you guys have, like, some people have tremendous goals. They have like 10 goals that they're clearly wanting to accomplish. And I look at that and I'm like, I feel like maybe I should steal your goals. And like, there's this feeling internally, like, should I steal the goals? Because that's a good one, right?
It's a good goal,
read a book a month.
My goal is to steal the goal.
Yeah. So it's like, should I steal their goals? Because I feel like I should have goals, but I don't have any goals. And so that's kind of been my mindset.
Wait, you don't have any goals?
Like, no, I don't. I have 0 goals. And so the thing is, yeah, I don't.
Wait. I'm being for real. Like, we talked about it. It was me, Derek, and Jesse on last episode, and we talked about this. So Emily, I want to hear your thoughts too. But my thought is, like, at the end of the year, I always kind of assess, kind of like where I was at that point a year ago, kind of what happened, learn, assess, and then kind of envision where I'd like to be at this point next year.
Yes.
So I just have a general direction. I'd like to see this happen. I'd like life to look like this, and then that guides my priorities, right? So, like, if I want to be in shape, I might get on the freaking treadmill tomorrow. If I want to have money to look this way, what am I doing to XYZ? And it's like, so that just guides my priorities. I don't have, like,
the best way to say
resolutions, where it's like, lose 20 pounds by March or whatever, or read 15 books a week. I don't do that stuff, but I do think I want to read more this year. Okay, well then let's go to the bookstore.
I love the way that you think like that, because that's kind of what I do. And that's funny, I'm just getting my notes out right now, because that's kind of like what I do is, what do I want my life to look at the end of the year? Yeah. That's pretty much what guides the force. It's like, what do I want to be known for? What do I want people to see me as? What do I want to, what's personal goals in the month that I want? Like, but I think Tony Robbins, I love Tony Robbins sometimes, but he did this thing where he talked about how most people overreach with their goals. They have 35 goals and they do 2 of them. And it's like, it's actually better to have like 1 or 2 goals that you're really trying to accomplish. It just makes it a lot easier. And so for me, I think, it's obviously there's always gonna be a financial goal I want to reach, but then what do I want my life to look like intentionally? What do I want my marriage to look? That's exactly how you frame your year is how I frame. I just don't have read 12 books, save this amount, lose this amount. I have very like, hey, I wrote down, I was like, I want to, at the end of the year, look at my releases and be proud of what I'm making. I want my son to be doing this. I want my wife and me to be able to go on vacation this many times. Like end of the year is really what I'm looking for right now.
Look at all these creatives saying, don't box me in.
Don't box me in.
all the people that's not creatives are like, look, how do you get anything done?
Yeah.
Like,
That's true. That's
it
funny.
makes sense in our mind.
What
And that's the
works
funny
for
thing
you?
about a creative. It just makes sense in our mind to write like a one phrase, and that we understand what that means about our goal. You know, it's like, just some of these goals I'm looking at, it's like one word, you know, so, you know, those things shape, I think. I don't think there's a wrong or right way to do this. And some people have, like my sisters, they have 13 goals for the year. And I used to go to a church where the pastor would be like, the word of the year is patience and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. This year I have nothing like that. I just started the year like, Lord, I pray that this year's as good as 2025.
All right,
my sister is very much like that.
Yeah, 2024. Yeah. Yeah.
My sister is like, she plans out everything, like, and it's just like she's gonna hit the goals. Like that's what she does. I'm gonna be this by that time, that
Seems
by
exhausting.
that. And I'm like, man, I'm like, that's crazy.
To me, when I set like really hard plans like that, and I have had seasons of life where I did try to approach it that way, but it's almost like in hindsight, it's almost like God was laughing at me. It's like you idiot, you had no clue what I had in store for you or what I wanted you to do.
Like
you were taking control, and I think a part of my journey spiritually has been to let go of control, you know, and to like hold everything with an open hand and really truly trust the Lord and try to just obey and follow his leading. And so it's like, how much hubris would I have to think that I can map out my year and like I don't know what God has in store. So again, I have desires in my heart. I know I have things that I would like to see happen in life, and I'll pursue those things. But it's malleable. If God wants me to change direction, I will. Anyway, Emily, what about you? What do you do?
I have 25 goals for the. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, shoot.
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm the same as y'all, where like my goal at the end of the year is just like, I want my life to be better, whatever that looks like, whatever I feel like that needs to look like, whether that's finances or health. The one goal that I do always set though, is I always do a reading goal. And I didn't reach it last year. So it's the same goal as this year, but I got really close. I read 54 books last year. My goal is 60.
Holy.
What?
Listen, I know it sounds crazy. I'm a really fast reader. Like I can read a book mostly in like a day. So like I also keep in mind I don't have kids, so like I can spend my weekend reading.
Even
like
when I didn't have kids, I never read books. Like,
oh, you're the have you ever seen The Fastest Reader where they open it up and like,
I am like a very fast reader, and I do know that about
crazy.
myself. So that's it. But I like one of the goals I have this year is I want to read more authors that I haven't read before. So that's kind of like a loose goal I have.
Emily, I'm curious about this because one of my mentors years ago told me, because I was asking him how he recharges. He's like this big national leader person. And he said, I garden, right? He said, so people who have to make decisions or use their minds all day need to recharge by using their hands. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's why I do Legos. Like, I don't have to think about Legos. I can just follow. I mean, literally, I have Legos. You guys can't see them. I have literally like race cars and spaceships and all over me, all around me. I have Legos everywhere in this room. And it's because that's like, it's my gardening. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't have to make decisions. It's still creative. It's constructive, but I don't have to think.
You put me onto that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like Emily, my thing is like, we deal with words all day. And then like to relax and recharge, you're with more words. See, I recharge by listening and watching things like TV, movies, music. I don't recharge with more words. That's like my job almost. You know what I mean? I'm shocked to hear that you read that much after reading all day long.
Yes.
As well.
To be clear, I'm reading a lot of like fiction books. Like I really enjoy fiction books or like sci-fi or like fantasy even. I like things that are like
Taylor
take
Swift
me
fiction.
to a new world.
Taylor Swift fan fiction.
Yeah, I'm reading a lot of Taylor Swift fan fiction.
They're not like us. They're not like us. They're not like us.
No, it just like takes me to like a different world where it's like there's no time where I would ever write these words.
Got it. That
what
makes
I mean?
sense. That makes sense. Do you do anything other? Like, what's your gardening? Like, what's your other thing?
I do like doing puzzles. I think that,
Yeah.
I
That's
think
the same itch.
or like logic puzzles even like, I don't know. My family, we were really big, like puzzle people, and we'll do puzzles together even. And so they're just kind of fun.
Derek, what's your gardening? I say with air quotes. What's your way to recharge?
I love trading. I love learning about trading. I love
See, that makes sense. You're creating all day, and then trading is math, and it's very structured. It's financial. So that's a totally different part of your brain.
I'll be honest. When you said trading, just because of my nephew, I was thinking like Pokemon cards.
Me too. 100%, Emily. I thought the same
Not at
thing.
all.
I was like,
Cool. That's awesome.
I love reading. I love reading charts. No, not
like Pokemon stuff, like baseball stuff.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah. Nah, but that's fun. And then, I mean, I'm getting back into basketball. That's something I used to love doing, just going out and hooping. So I'm getting back into that this year. That's
Playing, not just watching. I watch. I don't play.
Yeah. I don't even watch that much as I used to.
I know you don't. It kills me that our group chat doesn't talk ball at all. I have to have other group chats to talk ball every day.
Because my team sucks. Like,
my team played your team last night, and y'all won. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, we have a great show in store for you guys. Connor Price, he had a big 2024.
He did.
I'm assuming a big 2025 is coming. He just announced his new tour and stuff. Connor Price is coming up, and at the end of the show, we have your feedback. All right. Stay tuned after the break. It's Slices.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Tim Tebow's book, Look Again. Have you ever wondered what would change if you truly believed you were infinitely valuable to God? In his New York Times bestselling book, Look Again, Tim Tebow reveals the powerful truth that when we learn to see the image of God in every person, including those we struggle to love, everything changes. Tebow shares incredible stories from his work with people the world often overlooks, and it will challenge you to stand up to the lies, rediscover the worth that everyone has, and impact the world for good. Find Look Again by Tim Tebow, available now wherever books are sold.
Okay, it's time for
Slices.
What do you have, Emily?
So I was talking earlier about how I like science fiction because I've always liked space. It's always been really interesting to me. And I've always dreamed about what it would be like to go to space. And that could soon be reality because there are 3 companies that are starting initiatives this year to transform space or transform the moon into humanity's first space hub.
Oh.
So
That's what Epcot promised us back in the 80s, is that by the time we were adults, we could vacation on the moon. And they showed us, it was like little bubbles and we could go around. It was, I remember this as a kid. This was the dream.
Interesting.
So this is really happening.
So it's happening. So it's obviously it's happening in stages. So the first is really just let's get there and let's see, can we kind of put stuff down, get things set and structured before we just send everyone there and start living life. But one of them is obviously SpaceX, and then Blue Origin. They've been sort of racing to see who can get stuff going on the moon. And there's a lot of stuff that'll be launching this year in 2025.
This makes so much more sense to me than all this talk about Mars. It made no sense to me why Elon Musk was talking about Mars.
Yeah.
Humanity has to go to Mars. No, it doesn't. Humanity, if humanity had to leave Earth, the moon makes the most sense. It's 3 days away, not 3 months away.
Yeah.
Why in the world would we be talking about Mars?
Yeah.
And answer me this, Emily. I didn't know you're interested in this stuff. Why are we not trying to create sea bases? If The theory here is that something's going to happen with climate change and this will become inhabitable. Well, number one, a terrible Earth is more habitable than Mars or the moon. But why aren't we working on developing humanity, creating not a moon base, but a sea base? Why aren't we talking about that? I don't know.
That's a good question, actually. I never thought about the sea. I mean, sea.
If we have to live in a bubble on the moon, why not live in a bubble on Earth?
Yeah, sea covers the land. It's more land than anything else in the world. And
Hey, y'all.
What?
Ain't no grass on the moon. So why I want to live in a bubble with grass inside the bubble when we could just live with the grass?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, make the bubbles here on Earth. I mean, if the air is going to get so polluted we can't live on Earth anymore, we have to go to the moon. Make the same things here.
Yeah,
at least we have gravity here.
The air's so polluted we can't live here.
But there's no air on the moon. We have to create our own air there. We have to create our own air here.
Well, maybe it's easier to create air on the moon. I don't know.
This is what I'm saying. Like, it makes no sense to me. We should be, if the idea is that humanity will not be able to live like we live now.
Interesting.
Create those bubbles on this planet. We could just build them. We don't have to like fly to another planet to build them.
Interesting.
Anyway.
I'm assuming that someone's probably working on that at the same time. Like there's some other company that's working on a sea bubble life
sea bubble
and space life. I'm interested in space life. I know y'all want to stay on Earth. That's fine with y'all. Fly me to the moon tomorrow. I'll go. I think it sounds so fun.
I think partially I was influenced. Again, I'm bringing back up Epcot. I grew up in Orlando, and Epcot has this thing called the Living Seas, and the whole theme previously, but now it's Nemo. But previously, it was like a 1980s sea base that you would like go down this big elevator down to the bottom of the ocean, and like you're doing science and you're living there. And
I
it was
love that.
And, right? And like 1980s, like sea, like whatever. Like I was
cool.
like, that's the dream, right? Like we're gonna dive and we'll go. Like there's fish, we can eat kelp. We can, like why aren't we talking about that? And then everybody's talking about Mars now. I'm like, what?
Well, see, okay, when I was growing up, when I was 5 years old, a movie called Xenon Girl of the 21st Century
I was watching that yesterday.
You were
So
not.
good.
I swear to God, my wife's favorite movie.
It's
she
so good.
also-
That's the girl with
also-
the big bug eyes.
No, that's Raven Simone. She's in the movie, but the other girl was also in this movie called Johnny Tsunami, which we just had a Disney-a-thon. You go, Emily. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna ask, did you peep that in Xenon the movie is set in 2049?
We talked about that. And then there's part 2, which, kind of went
aliens.
bonkers. Yeah. And then number 3.
Xenon X2.
She goes to
good
Earth.
one.
Essentially, she goes to Earth and like she's afraid of horses and different animals. They've never experienced any of these different things. It's a great movie, honestly. It's a great movie.
Is it great?
Groundbreaking.
Is it really great?
How about we
I'd
don't
say
jack
yes.
up the Earth no more and just try to
Have you been
Stay here.
Have you
I know.
been to
Fix
India, Derek? Have you seen the pollution that's happening over there? It's crazy. I mean, it's actually funny because there's this interview right now that's like 13 years old that this guy that I follow constantly reposts like every year, and it's a 13-year-old interview where Elon's like, in 10 years, I'll get everybody on the moon and Mars. And like it never happened. So he keeps like retweeting it because it's 13 years old now, but he said in 10 years, I'll get everybody in Mars and the moon. So to every like couple of days I see him go, hey guys, just like nailing that into the coffin. Hopefully Elon sees that one day.
Elon's timelines are ambitious.
Yes.
I remember in 2015, he was like talking about the Cybertruck coming out the next year. So full self-driving would be a year away. And it's like, okay, it's 2025. We still don't have it. But anyway.
But it is interesting, 2025, like they're starting these initiatives to potentially get us to the moon someday, whether or not we need to or people like me just want to. I'm excited.
You know what?
about it.
You know what I always
jack
did.
the moon up and the Earth.
What I always didn't understand was like the Mars thing, the moon thing is like, how are we going to build stuff? So a few years ago, I got invited by Nat Geo to go to Hawaii, where like the University of Hawaii and NASA were doing this year-long experiment where they built a biodome, and they called them not astronauts, they called them habinauts, but they had a crew of like 7 people live in the biodome for a year, totally self-supporting, as an experiment for like what something on Mars or the moon would look like. So I asked one of the scientists, how are you going to build this big structure on the moon. Like how physically are you going to build it? And they told me that what they're going to do is early on, they'll ship massive 3D printers.
Oh, wow.
And drop them onto the moon. And what they'll do is robotically use the lunar sand and stuff to turn it into filament to then create just digitally. They'll send plans and it'll be creating a form of concrete and it'll be building structures and all this kind of stuff without humans. And then the humans will come and arrive and everything will be built for them by these robots that are doing 3D printing, which finally made sense to me. That's
so
genius.
They're going to F the moon up too.
They're going to build a big old city somewhere on the moon. That's the plan.
They're going to mess the moon up. They're going to mess the moon up. Then the humans going to get that. You know, this will be my fear. Is I get to a 3D printed house,
right?
And then we open the door and the whole thing collapses.
Yeah, there's a little hole in the side, and it sucks everything in when you open the door, and everyone
the caulking
dies.
didn't quite take.
Caulking didn't quite. Listen, no,
I mean,
man.
they can print guns with 3D
I'm gonna let y'all
guns.
do that first.
They do want to print houses.
So, Derek, you don't think the black church should run this program? You just let the white people take care of that one. Like just
black church gonna stay here. I'm gonna let you know that now. Black church. We just gonna be like, look,
let all the white people go to the moon. That's fine. We'll be good.
Black Bishop Jenkins and them. We gonna get to cleaning up messes and
mess that we leave
together.
behind.
Yeah, and we gonna let y'all do that. Cause
and you know what? I'll go. I'm okay with that. I want to go.
What do you guys think is the first church that would be launching services on the moon? Elevation?
See, okay, this is something I think about. Like
elevation, because there's not much gravity. So
Elevation Church. You think it's gonna be Craig Groeschel's church, Life Church?
No, it's gonna be an Australian church. The Australian pastors, they are everywhere.
But they're not getting on the moon. They're not getting on the moon before us.
Somebody like that.
What if the U.S. is the first country on the moon? What happens if Australia wants to come or China wants to come? Like, do they have to go to the other side of the moon, or can they build?
We'll find a way to turn it into capitalization for sure. We'll capitalize on it.
Emily, I didn't know we had this in common. That was always my dream too as a kid. It's like space travel and
space travel.
I mean, I went to space camp as an
I'm
adult.
still on it.
Yeah.
That's on my vision board for 2025 is to be on the moon.
Cameron was a volunteer and a counselor and a kid, all at the same space camp.
I'm telling you, me and Jesse went 5 years ago to space camp. To me, this is great. Let's go.
I'm with Jesse.
Yeah,
me and Jesse are on the same camp.
Yeah, you are. I know. So, I'm excited to hear that, Emily. I can geek out about space stuff with you.
Yeah. I'll hop on a rocket tomorrow.
So 2025, moonbase starts. Like it. Okay, what do you have, Marty?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Even though I've been talking to you guys for the last 45 minutes, I don't know why I just like to start it off like that. All right, so AI, Apple, health, 3 things that you should be looking forward to seeing in 2025, 26, 27. Apple is working on a way to keep you, Derek, Emily, all of us healthier. We all have our phones in our pocket, right? Mm-hmm. It's an interesting concept. I think if they were to sell us a product that we had to carry with us, we'd be like, I'm never going to bring this thing. But we have phones with us all the time. And so what they're doing is they're developing technology to monitor your health, your EKG, the steps. Obviously, right now, it does steps and it does. But now they're getting deeper. Apple is working with AI to monitor your heart rate, a fall detection, which seems like something we should have had for a while. Like, they're going to take out Life Alert. Their business is done. You know how Apple is taking out ChatGPT? They're kind of like, hey, it's ours now. Now Apple is known for taking out all these extra companies. They're taking out Life Alert. Sorry, Grandma. The little button on her necklace, she won't need it anymore. Apple will know if she fell or not. They're even working with technology with AirPods, with hearing aids, all these new functions. So they're starting, it's like what the kids say, let him cook, let Tim cook. And the whole idea is to incorporate AI into what we already have what we already do.
Are you just doing an Apple commercial right now? What's
No.
the slice?
I was about to ruin it right now because I think about how their founder and original CEO Steve Jobs, he didn't care for modern medicine. He didn't care. So a piece of me feels like, would he even be okay with this? Like when he got sick, he didn't go to a doctor. He went to a spiritualist.
Holistic.
It was like that movie Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey. He's playing that one comedian, and the guy looks down. And he has a shrimp in his hand, and really he's they're thinking he's pulling out sickness, but really it was pulling out a shrimp. It was fake. That's what it feels like to me. I don't know if
Oh my gosh, what are you saying right now?
There's a movie with Jim Carrey.
I understand the Man on the Moon.
Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman had cancer.
I know.
And in his stomach. And so
what is your slice? What are you communicating?
The purpose of that was that it was a charlatan trick. And I feel like these are all polar opposite to what I'm going to get through this. We're going to make it.
Okay, we're going to get that.
Opposite from Steve Jobs. What he wanted, his original thought process, which is so that was so rough with all the commentary.
Yeah,
I was getting
let me
somewhere.
cut in.
I was getting somewhere.
So that you're getting all this information from an article I remember seeing. Tim Cook did an interview. I remember this, and it was really interesting how just like seeing this like tech CEO talk about like the importance of healthcare, and like I don't know, I appreciate that. Like that Apple is thinking about the health of its users, because it's like they could easily just be trying to, like you said, like just getting us to buy something and getting this phone. But it's like, actually, I don't think about like checking my heart rate every day if I need to. Not that I need to, but like there's all these different like things coming
the idea
in.
That it alerts you without you having to program it to alert
they
you.
They wasted all that money on this Apple Watch tech. Ain't nobody uses. So they say we just go put it in the phone.
Dude,
I using it.
I use it every day.
And it's telling you to stand up right now. I can see it.
There's people who knew that they had health problems just based on wearing that watch.
I'll be honest with you. My Apple Watch, I have the Ultra or whatever. When we went to Colorado, Derek, and the air was so thin, my heart rate changed, and it was like alerting me, like, "Hey, take it easy." Like, hey,
it's that serious.
I'm not saying the tech is not good. I'm just saying that it's not enough people buying Apple Watches, so they say, you know what, we'll throw this in the phone. Because we just spent all this money developing it. Yeah. Y'all gonna use this tech. It's like at the black church when they bring out the food that you're supposed to be eating, and it's like y'all gonna eat this food.
Mac and cheese
y'all
goes
gonna,
first.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
Think about the headphones. Like like we all have the headphones. The headphones it's gonna somehow help out people who have hearing deficiencies, and so they're trying to use, I guess, what we already have. And say, hey, you already have the iPhone, you already have the watch. We're going to throw these. And then the last part about the article that was really interesting as well is that Apple already was aware highly of AI in 2018. And so a lot of companies, I feel like, had to adjust very quick when ChatGPT came out. But Apple working with Google, they have been preparing for this. And so one of the questions they wanted to know, Tim Cook wanted to know, was, how could we incorporate this to better the lives of our users as well? So it definitely, hopefully it's being used for the right things and not for the Patriot Act. I don't know. Maybe that's what Derek is worried about. The Patriot Act, finding out about, remember that? Patriot Act.
I am all in on this stuff. Like, I love it. I'm an Apple user. So, but their emphasis on health has been really interesting. And back in the day, it was just kind of like, well, you run and we will help you map your runs. And I was like, well, I'm not a runner. But now it's like health monitoring, and like the fact that like you fall or have an impact or whatever, like it will contact the emergency people for you. And like, that's going to save lives. That's actually really cool.
I don't want my phone company knowing everything about my health.
Yeah.
Well,
that's just me.
In the interview with Tim Cook, like he talked about, there are people who have like basically like user reviews that have written in saying like, this product literally saved my life because like something happened while I was sleeping, and like it alerted the authority or alerted 911, and they were able to come to my house.
I just want to use my phone.
But Derek, one thing that's like Apple really emphasized with this AI stuff with their last update with Apple Intelligence, everything's local. So none of your information is going to the cloud cloud. It's on your device. That's it. So like it's private, it's secure. They're not sharing it. They're not selling it. What's crazy to me are the people who did like Ancestry.com or like the DNA test and stuff like that, 23andMe, and they're selling their biological data to a company that's business model is to resell it. Yeah. Like literally you're selling the most intimate information about your health, your history to people who are going to sell to people you don't know who's buying it.
All I'm saying is that's how things change. When everybody was doing the 23andMe's and stuff, this is secure. We'll never sell your data. And then things change.
Well, they said they'll never sell it, but they can't, but they have it and they maybe never will sell it, but they could sell it. That's the thing. That's the risk. Apple's not even taking the data. It's living on your device. Apple never sees it.
And that's one of the things that Tim,
hard for me to think.
One of the things that Tim Cook said at the end of the article too, in the interview, was that this is going to be like their greatest contribution to society is helping people with their health.
And we got there. Yeah. That was the slice. I knew that's where you were going. We finally got there.
Yeah.
Apple.
But I had to go through the
innovation.
Andy Kaufman movie where he saw the squid getting pulled out of the stomach like it was a charlatan to get, because that's what Steve Jobs did to get to this. Like I did some like TD Jakes level, but I just kept getting hit by you guys. But we made it. We made it through. Okay.
We made it. So the bottom line is Tim Cook just said that he feels when history looks back at Apple that their biggest contribution to humanity will be the impact they had on people's health.
Yes,
that is wild when you think about how transformative the iPhone was and other things, iTunes and other things that they've done to disrupt. He's saying their biggest contribution will be the impact on health. And that's interesting.
Yeah, and the fact that, and the last thing about
you don't think so, Derek? You don't think that?
Guess what? You fall in the studio when you're 70 years old, you're producing for some young idiot, and you fall over and you're going to be like, and then guess what? The police show up. They let you know and you knock on the door and then you're going to have to, find us in your 70s and be like, hey guys, it saved my life.
But Apple was sabotaging batteries so that your battery would be jacked up so you will buy new phones.
It is a good point.
It's still a company.
Yeah, they built trust with us.
That's based on capitalism. Like, dog, I'm not finna.
I never said they were perfect.
I don't want my phone knowing all this information about me. I bought this mug to call Meemaw and FaceTime people. I did not buy this for you to tell me if I got diabetes or not.
You don't get a little jitterbug phone.
That's not what I bought this for.
The thing is, most men never go to the doctors, right? And most men never get a physical. So I do feel like knowing that most men we're all so stubborn. We're like, I don't want to know. This could help us.
That ain't their business to tell me when I need to get a physical or not. I get a physical every year, by the way.
No, it's saying if you don't get a physical.
You're a rarity.
No, but it's saying if you don't get a physical, we still got you covered for when you have a heart attack.
If you fall,
you can't hear somebody to tell me to go do nothing.
Listen, as a person who lives by himself, you are talking in your married privilege right now. As a person who lives by himself, if I collapse on the floor from choking on a turkey sandwich or I have a heart attack, I want my watch to call somebody.
Yes. Well, hey, don't choke on a turkey sandwich. Slow down and chew your food.
But I'm just saying, I don't want my kid.
That was like a Tyler Perry moment that Derek just had. Like, chew your food. Like, it's your fault. It's your fault.
I don't want my kid to show up 3 days with my decomposed rigor mortis body, like in the kitchen. Like I want my Apple Watch to tell somebody. So I'm down for all of this.
With the moist maker in your mouth and the turkey sandwich. It's like,
just somebody find me. Somebody come in the door. Come on.
You wanted a turkey sandwich, like and you died with cranberry sauce.
So what you're saying is Apple created a solution to us not having friends and family around us. That's not good.
Hey, listen, if you don't hear from me for a week, you'll just be like, oh, he's busy.
Yeah.
No, I was dead 6 days ago.
He was
Apple didn't tell nobody. Goodness gracious. Anyway. All right. What do you have, Derek? Let's wrap this up.
Well, on the same topic of spooky AI, there's a luxurious AI-powered super yacht that says it can predict the guest's every move and desire.
What?
So you go talk to the AI, and it says, and also the boat is powered by solar panels. But here's the deal. It's designed by some shipbuilders and has a built-in AI, and the crew can interact with the AI, and they'll say, hey, this person wants this person wants that. I don't know how I do it. It's probably demons. I don't know, but hey,
This is we're living in the Jetsons now.
Yeah.
So
I'm
like,
saying,
I'm hungry.
bro.
I hit a button and boom,
I
dinner
don't want to
comes.
live in the. I don't want to live in the Matrix. I don't want to live with Terminator. I'm gonna use it because it is what it is. Y'all ain't gonna leave me out, and I'm being left behind. But I'm saying it's gonna be. I'm not willingly thinking that I want no yacht. Talking about, hey Derek, we just noticed that you like fried chicken. Would you like some? Like, I don't want that.
Hey, but again, where is this going to go? Right now, it's a super yacht. That's going to be in our houses soon. Like, I cannot, again, married
I don't want
privilege.
it.
As a single person, I cannot wait for AI to go, hey, you need to do some laundry. Let me get that going for you. Or I'm going to get dinner. I'm going to heat up the air fryer for you. It's for dinner. You know,
That's cool.
I love that.
I guess I don't know. It sounds great, but I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Look, I'm a conspiracy theory. Y'all know me. Me and Jesse,
Yeah.
we are of the same camp. Libertarian conspiracy.
Yeah.
But see, I think Jesse gets excited about conspiracy theories where you're like, I hate them all and I'm scared.
Oh no, I get excited about them. I'm just not excited. The Apple thing, this super yacht thing.
I'll
whatever.
be the guinea pig for all this. I will be the
listen.
early adopter, the new tech. And if I go, then you'll know it's bad, right? But
The way my pockets is built, I'm not going to be on no AI powered super yacht in no time.
This is what
So I'm
this
not
is
worried
the
about that.
space
That
hubs
is-
y'all are talking about. Though
This
the
is what
space
I'm
hubs.
worried about. All right, listen. I'm just going to come clean. I'm worried about rich white people making decisions they don't know what to do with. Like, that's what happened in the
That's
Terminator.
valid.
Terminator was, you got
That's
all
valid.
these rich people that was doing all this stuff that is, this is going to be great. And then next thing you know, you got robots. Andre and Deontay wasn't doing that. That was Heitberg and your flaw, whatever they name. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that's what I'm saying.
Listen, one day, again, very single. One day, the idea of having one of these Tesla butlers taking care of everything and pulling the weeds and walking the dog and like all this stuff for me, and I don't have to do anything. Oh, bring it on! I love it.
That's how they get you.
I know, but you know what? I had a good life until it killed me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Well, that's the thing. The robot's going to kill you, and then your Apple Watch is going to alert the authorities.
and then the authorities will turn off my Apple.
Yeah, the
My
police will
robot.
be robots as well. And so it's like,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
I told y'all, Bishop Jenkins, Sister Jones, we need them in charge. There needs to be a Bishop Jenkins and Sister Jones in every business development office.
Just to keep it.
Just to make sure
Yeah.
that we don't cross the line. That's
I like
what we
that.
need.
I like that. I like that. It's got to be
solved it.
mandatory. All right. That'll do it for Slices. Make sure to check out relevantmagazine.com every weekday where we are covering faith, culture, and everything in between. All right. Stay tuned. Up next, Connor Price joins us.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times bestselling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way His Spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold.
Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose the Barbarian Way. Available now wherever books are sold.
Well, our guest today is Connor Price. He's a huge content creator, musician, actor, someone who's kind of doing it all. He's had a major rise over the last few years, from starring in TV shows to collaborating with artists like Forrest Frank and Maverick City Music to Hoodie Allen and Walker Hayes. We sat down with him to hear more about his creative journey, and we had an unexpected conversation about his faith journey, too. Here's Connor Price.
Well, you've started releasing music over the last few years, and you've done some really exciting collabs with artists in the Christian space, like Forrest Frank and Nick D. I'm curious, are you wanting to make more Christian music moving forward?
That's what's so funny, and that's the place I'm at right now, because I'm, for lack of a better term, I feel like it's kind of corny to say, but I'm like on a journey at the moment when it comes to my faith and my religion. Like, I grew up going to a Catholic school, and then throughout my kind of high school and after those years, and I used to go to church every Sunday with my family, and it was Catholic, and then I wasn't going to church anymore. I didn't identify as Christian, as Catholic, or atheist. I was always just in between. I was like, I was always just unsure. And it got to a point recently where I was like, I don't want to be unsure. I don't like the idea of just being able to be, on the fence. And if I'm talking to someone who's Christian, be like, oh yeah, I believe in a God. I totally understand. Or if I'm talking to someone who's not, I'm like, yeah, no, I understand why you might, like, I was always just playing both sides, and I didn't like that. So I'm like, what do I believe in? And so I recently, for the first time, bought a Bible, and I'm in the process of diving into that, because I really want to figure out, I want to know exactly where my faith lies. And at the moment, I don't, but I'm figuring it out. And I think that's something that was so interesting, because a few days after I had bought the Bible was when Forrest DM'd me, and he was like, dude, love your stuff, would love to maybe work on something. I was like, oh, whoa, crazy timing. And then a few days after that, there's this guy, this podcaster named George Janko, who has this podcast. Not that he has like a Christian podcast, but he's very Christian and very, very connected to his faith, and talks about that a lot. And I've enjoyed his podcast. And then he like randomly DM'd me to show love, and like certain things were happening where I felt like the universe was like, hey, you're on the right path. Keep exploring this thing. And so that's how I had first connected with Forrest, and he had sent me the song Up, and I put my verse on that. And even in the verse, like the one kind of reference I make to religion and Christianity, I say, mind your business now who I worship. Because I was like, okay, if I do the song, everyone's going to be like, oh, he's a Christian artist, he's Christian. And I was like, well, wait, let me figure this out. So that was sort of my way of addressing that. And that's where I'm at right now. So I'm still figuring that out.
Got to the church steps, couldn't take the first step. I need help. I need some guidance, somebody controlling it. Got me a Bible, I took it right home with me. Put it right next to my bed, and I said that I'd read it the truth.
Well, in addition to music, you are also an actor. I'm curious, how did you first get into acting?
Sure. So I'm one of 5 kids, and my younger brothers, Thomas and Ryan, they're twins. So I'm right in the middle. 2 older, 2 younger. The younger 2 are twins. And when they were 4 years old, my mom, she was friends with this woman who lived on our street, who started Twins Talent Agency in Toronto. And my mom was a stay-at-home mom with 5 kids. And so this woman kind of convinced my mom, like, hey, your twin boys, they're identical. There's a lot of opportunity in the acting space, sort of like the Cole Dillon, Mary-Kate and Ashley kind of thing, where they can play the same character, which producers really like, because kids, you can only work a certain amount of hours. But if you have 2 that look exactly the same, you can get a full day. It really does come down to that. And so twins, if they're good, can work a lot as child actors. And so my mom was like, hey, why not? I got, I can drive them to auditions and see how that goes. And they just started booking commercials like crazy, and TV and film. And a lot of times I was being kind of dragged along to the auditions with them, whether because I had hockey afterwards, so I had to go, and over time I just I saw them having a lot of fun, and it was sort of just got to the point where I was like, I want to try that. And so, yeah, at one point, all five of the kids were acting, started with commercials. When I was 10, I did a movie called Cinderella Man, where I played the son of Russell Crowe. And that kind of blew things up for me. And that was the first time I went to LA for the premiere, signed with a US agent and manager, and just kept working on TV and film. And at the moment, still doing it, even though music has taken off, still doing it. Just was in Vancouver recently, about a week ago, filming an episode of a CBS show called Tracker, which is going to start airing in October. Another one called Overcompensating, which is an A24 show that's going to be on Amazon Prime. So it's like the music stuff has taken over, but acting is still there. And it's something I want to balance, like guys I really look up to, whether it's Idris Elba or Donald Glover, these very established, multifaceted artists who do a bunch of things is kind of, what my goal is. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent now because you asked me how I started. But yeah, that's sort of how I started. My little brother started first. I tried it. And at this moment, of all the 5 kids, I'm the only one that stuck with it. Everyone else kind of found their own passion, but I kept going with it.
Blindfold on me, I still got the most vision. Trendsetter told them before, but they don't listen. Better, bring a better bad because I'm bigger, better. Solo, single, selling several shows at every single second. Peter Piper picked a pack of...
How do you balance when you're going to focus on your acting career versus your music career?
Yeah. Well, what's so great about the way the music stuff is set up for me is kind of like I showed you, like I do record everything at home. All my skits I record in here. I'm still editing the majority of my content. Like I've really been able to set it up in a way where I'm very self-sufficient, and it really doesn't take too much time. I've kind of locked in my process. And so when auditions do come in, and now since COVID, all auditions pretty much are self-taped. You used to have to go into a room, and I mean, that still happens, but rarely. I think COVID, when it forced production companies to have to do self-taping instead of in-person auditions, they realized how much time they save, how much money they save from not having to have a casting office. And so now since COVID, even though everything opened up, it's still self-taping. So, I'll have an email come in that says, hey, we need a self-tape audition due in 3 days. My wife reads for me. She'll be my reader. I'll, again, do it in this room that I record my music. And so luckily, yeah, the space that we exist in, I'm able to get a lot done at home, and which is amazing, because I also have a 2-year-old and I have another on the way. And so if it was one of those things where I had to be going to a studio and having to go to LA every time I had an audition, I don't know how I would balance it. But luckily right now, the way things are set up, I can do so much from home. And then if there is a scenario like this Tracker that I was just in Vancouver for 2 weeks to film, I'll fly out there. I'll stay there. I have luckily a lot of family that might fly out to help my wife to take care of our son. And so, yeah, I have a lot of help with that as far as the family stuff goes. But yeah, at the moment, luckily, I'm really able to do it all because so much of it just happens here at home.
If you know, I've been on a mission, go. Okay, let's get it. Got a little time on my hands like a wristwatch. I don't got time for the breaks and a pit stop. Race through the gridlock.
I know you're also really active on social media. When did you decide to start posting more on social media platforms?
It's a good question. Let me try to go back to that time. I know that there was a discussion that Brianna and I had about wanting to pursue music more seriously, because there was a while where music was just a hobby that I had. It was just something I did for fun, like and I've never deleted anything. So you can go back on my Instagram and see that I would just like randomly put out like a freestyle or an original song, and they would be like months apart. Like it really was just like I was in between acting jobs and I had the creative itch to write a song, and I would, but I wasn't taking it serious as far as I am now, where it's like a new song every week or every 2 weeks. And so I know around the time where COVID hit and all the acting stuff shut down, that's when we were like, let's go all in on this music thing. Let's post as consistently as we can. And then also around that time, everybody who was kind of having viral moments and having success with music, they were posting on TikTok. And was Instagram Reels a thing then? I think it was. It was probably early on, but I don't think YouTube Shorts was a thing yet. But definitely like Instagram Reels and TikTok. But TikTok specifically was just like having a huge moment, and the amount of artists that were blowing up and having careers because of TikTok. So it was intentional for me to start going all in on music and really being as consistent as I could with that. But as far as the content, that just happened organically because TikTok was the thing. And so it was like, well, let's just post content here. And we just were posting a ton, and there was certain content that would do better than others, specifically skits. And I think my background as an actor made my skits just, I don't know. I think I just looked comfortable on camera, and I really love editing and directing my skits. And I think that my passion for that style of content kind of, showed. And so people were connecting to those. And so it was sort of like, all right, well, this is working. So let's do more of that. And we would just sort of watch, react, and then keep going.
I'm done with it. I'm a new school vibe with an old soul. Oh, so great. Stay paid by the boatload. Don't go.
What do you enjoy most about creating content in this social media era?
Just the control that I have. Like, one of my biggest frustrations with acting is how little control you have over your career. Really, all you control is the audition. And even then, I've had auditions where I'll go in the room and halfway through the producer's like, oh, sorry, I got to use the bathroom. And then they interrupt the scene, and then they're not even there to watch the best scene, which was the second one. And then I could go on and on with like horror stories of auditions that I've flown to LA because I was in Toronto, and I'm like going so far out of my way just to like have this awful audition process. And anyways, but so many stars have to align. So many people have to say yes just for you to have the opportunity to be on set. And even then, I've had shows that were in pre-production, and then the set gets, or the production gets canceled. And there's so much that's out of your control. And with music, being independent, I can post what I want, when I want, market it how I want, when I want, have my wife be my manager, have my brother-in-law mix and master everything, choose when I want to go on tour, say, nah, I don't want to go now, but let's go here. And like, I quite literally, being independent, have full control over everything, from what I say to how I say it to when I put it out, how I decide to market it. And that creative control and that freedom is like the best thing ever, which is why when people ask me what I like more, I'm like, at the moment, always kind of leaning towards music, just because of how much more control I have in comparison to acting, which is a lot of waiting around and a lot of other people kind of, acting as gatekeepers. And with music, it's really up to you because the audience is right there. And if you're willing to put in the time to make the music and put in the time to make the content to get it out there, that's it. There's no barrier, so that's what I really enjoy.
I know the curtains is nothing but sewage. I know some artists who claim independence, but they got a label behind them they using. I know some artists who claim that they Christian, but they doing business like their name was Judas. Yeah.
That was Connor Price. Make sure to check out his upcoming tour and get his music wherever you stream it. Also, keep your eye out for more of that conversation in the next digital issue of Relevant, which is out this week. All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's your feedback. Well, today's podcast is brought to you in part by the new book, Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic. Author Jonathan Seidel knows firsthand how even believers can get stuck in shame and destructive habits, especially when it comes to one of society's biggest obsessions, alcohol. In Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic, he details his spiral into disordered drinking and shares the 4-step process he eventually used to break free. There's hope for alcoholics who become Christians and for Christians who become alcoholics. Find Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic wherever books are sold. What if you could change a child's life with just $10? Right now, thousands of vulnerable children in East Africa are suffering from jiggers. It's a painful, preventable parasite that burrows into their feet. Soul Hope is the only organization treating it through foot washing, medical care, and durable closed-toed shoes that protect kids long after treatment. $10 may not seem like much in today's world, but when we come together, those small gifts add up to big change. Join the 10 for 10 campaign. $10 protects 10 small toes. Visit soulhope.org/10 to give now. One small gift makes a big difference. Again, that's soulhope, SOLE, hope.org/TEN. All right, it's time for your feedback. Last week, we brought the slice that Christopher Nolan, his next movie is going to be The Odyssey. Jesse brought that
Can't
slice,
wait.
which is crazy. So we got talking about like unexpected, directors with unexpected, books and ideas, like Greta Gerwig doing Chronicles of Narnia coming up. So we asked you
Yeah. So we asked you, what other directors and story adaptations do you want to see next? You hit us up on X at Relevant Podcast, and here's a few of our favorites.
I like Jeff Hansen. He says, "How has Jordan Peele not taken on Goosebumps yet?"
Oh, that's a great one. Really, really good.
Crazy.
Nina Smith, after she wraps up Narnia. First off, I love Greta Gerwig. I love Little Women. One of my two.
Wait, just in general, you like Little Women? Or
I
you
love
like
that movie, Little Women by Greta Gerwig.
Okay,
I love everything that she does. I love Barbie. My guilty pleasure is Tyler Perry movies and watching Little Women with my wife. It's a delight.
You don't gotta feel guilty about that one.
I love those movies. Anyway, so especially if they can get Flo as Jane Pugh. I love her, Greta Gerwig, and anything. So I would love to see, even if she did Batman, I wouldn't even care. She's my favorite director right now.
Wait, so
I don't think you fully said that one. So
I didn't say it all. I have ADD. I just want you guys to know I didn't take my medicine today.
Nina Smith said after she wraps up Narnia, I'd love to see Greta Gerwig take on Jane Eyre, especially if she can get Florence Pugh as Jane.
Oh.
Who is Jane? Forgive me, but who is Jane Eyre?
It's from like the 1800s. It's like a coming of age story about a young woman.
There was an old movie about it in like the 40s too. Jane Eyre.
Okay.
I like Chris Davis jokes. He said Wes Anderson and Where's Waldo?
Yeah.
That would be really cool. Like,
oh, that's great.
I think he would have a lot of fun with
That's
that.
really good.
I saw a photo online the other day, and it was a tombstone in a cemetery, and real big on the tombstone, it just said Waldo, and the person's caption said, "Guys, I have good news and bad news." Found him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
a dark joke.
I like this one. Give David Lynch Harold, and there's no comma there, but give David Lynch Harold and the Purple Crayon and let him cook. I know that movie came out and it was one of the most hated movies of 2024, but David Lynch, with his creative brain, would totally make that movie awesome. He's also one of my favorite directors.
I've never heard Harold and the Purple Crayon. I've never even heard of that.
It's a movie that came out.
It's a kid's book.
A Christian guy was the guy who played Shazam, who's now saying
Zachary
that
Levi.
he's saying that he's rejected by the industry. He's in it, and it got such bad reviews. I think it was only in the movies for like 2 weeks and instantly to like Prime. It was like Red One of those movies where no one cared about.
Here's the thing. Harold and the Purple Crown is about a young boy who gets a purple crown, and anything he draws with this crown comes to life.
Yes.
What are you saying? You're saying the word crown. You mean crayon?
Sorry.
Okay.
Well,
I'm from Texas.
Yeah, DJ Khaled moment right there. Jury.
No, I say crown. That is like genuinely how I pronounce that word.
The thing that you use to make art, you say crown?
Yeah,
not crayon or crayon. You say crown.
Say that again. Yes.
I just call it a crown. Hand me the crowns. I'm from.
You know that's a different word.
She from Texas, bro. That's Texas talking. What you talking about?
What is the queen? What does the king wear, Emily?
A crown
on his head. Okay, he puts a art stick on his head.
Listen,
Look,
if you know
Emily
the
grew up
context,
in
I'm
Texas.
always making sense.
I say crayons, but
no,
yeah.
I say crowns.
She has a double cup of syrup sitting right next to her. You don't see the double cup, the white styrofoam cup, and the
Future is in the back over there.
DJ,
Setting up the tree.
You don't see the DJ screw tapes behind her.
This is
right
so
now?
funny. This has never come up. No, there are only like a small handful of words that I know I mispronounce, but it's just because that's what we said in Texas, and I don't care to pronounce.
Crowns. You got a 64 pack of crowns.
Yeah, hand me the crowns.
That's not the word.
It's almost like you say crayon, like crayon, the crown.
No, crayons is bougie. I don't say that. I don't have time
Emily
to say
is
that.
invited to the cookout.
Emily, you're from Dallas. Just kidding.
Emily can come to the cookout now.
Emily, you're from the suburbs of Dallas.
Wait, did y'all hear Derek said I could come to the cookout?
Yeah,
Emily invited to the cookout. She said crowns.
Emily's like, where I'm from, this is how we pronounce it. Girl, you from Texas.
I know I'm from Texas. That's how we say it.
Yeah, Texas. That's Texas hood, right? You know what I'm saying?
Crowns.
Let's see, you know, hey, when Emily popped back on the street with a do-rag, bro, it's a wrap.
When Emily was telling it, when I said I'd never heard of this movie, she's like, yeah, Harold and the Purple Crown. I was like, what king was he? Like, I was so confused what you were saying. Okay.
Yeah, I forget
she got
that
box
y'all
braids
pronounce.
right now. Y'all don't see the Emily box braids disappear.
I got dreads in Chicago.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, there's a lot more. You guys had some really good ideas. Michael Bay and Beowulf, Maggie Hill said, there's a bunch. Anyway, check out our replies over on X. Okay. It's time for this week's.
Episode is madness.
It's one of the best episodes.
Yes.
Remember the
This is literal
shrimp? Remember the
madness.
shrimp in the movie with the guy and
This is
don't
madness.
cut that out. The shrimp.
This is amazing.
Oh man. Okay.
Editorial question of the week. Hey.
All right. Well, it's our first episode of 2025, and I'm a person who likes to look ahead. I don't necessarily look back a lot. I look ahead. So what we want to do is we want to know your predictions for 2025. What do you think is going to happen? No limits. Like you can talk politics, talk technology, talk whatever you want to talk about. What are your predictions for 2025? Hit us up on X at Relevant Podcast, and we'll read our favorites on next week's show.
I would like some pop culture predictions as well, if I can just put that request out there.
Like what? Like give an example. Like what do you want?
I've seen a lot of them recently, and I just think they're funny. Like who's going to have like a big comeback in 2025, or who's going to get
I'm already
canceled?
seeing Army Hammer as people are.
Yeah, he's trying to make
his
a comeback.
podcast is great. I'm not going to even lie
Is
to
it
you.
really?
It's actually he's like brutally vulnerable and honest right now. Brutally, like he's like, I have nothing to lose, so let me just be honest about.
Did you watch the documentary that came out about the Hammer family? Like,
Yeah.
there's a darkness on that family.
And I know his mom's like a pastor. We'll talk about it later, but his mom's like like evangelist.
Well,
it's like weird.
No,
it's
no.
like
I served on the board of trustees at ORU with Michael Hammer, who then
they're very wealthy.
left the seat and gave it to his now ex-wife. She was on the board as well. Like, so I know
she looks like Paula White. Yeah.
Like I know that Michael's a great dude.
He interviews her and she's like brutally honest with him. She's like, I don't approve of anything in your life. Like,
yeah,
it's a wild one.
She's hardcore Jesus person. Michael Hammer, not so much, but the wife definitely was. But I didn't know about their family story until I watched this documentary a year ago, and holy cow, it goes back.
Yeah.
Like Grandpa Hammer was like, I don't want to say the word evil, but kind of evil. I mean,
he was probably
rough.
working with the Nazis. You ever seen? Yeah, 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Like
What?
Yeah. It's bad. Like, and that's where their money and their wealth came from. It was like dirty money. The thing about generational curse is that the church teaches you look back at the ancestry, and there's things that then you look at what happened in history.
Yeah.
Again, this documentary kind of plays it out, and it all kind of comes back to Grandpa.
Yeah,
that like all these bad things happen because
your kids, the Bible says, get affected.
That's what I'm saying. So when I hear about Army, I'm just like, and he's named after Grandpa, Armand Hammer.
I think he got set up for sure, to be honest with you. He's very honest about the situation. He talks about it, and his friends are like, dude, obviously she set you up for this and like ruined your life so he's not.
He was a
clean.
bad dude.
He was
though.
bad. Yeah. He's like, I've never been faithful to one woman ever, and so this is a product of that. It's a product of that sin.
I'll be honest with you, behind the scenes, we were talking about the early days of Relevant. So this would have been maybe when the late 2000s, maybe 2008 or so. And when did The Social Network come out, where he played the Winklevoss?
2009.
Yeah. 9? Okay, 9. And right after that, he then got G.I. Joe and a bunch of other stuff. So I'm on the board with his dad. And I said to him, I was like, hey, we'd love to interview Army. I mean, he's like becoming the next big actor, whatever. And his dad said to me, I don't think that's a good idea. And I was like, oh, I'm reading between the lines.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't think it's a good idea for Relevant to put him on his put Army. And like the family kind of knew, like he wasn't.
He's doing John Carter, so don't. The movie's gonna flop. Don't even.
Yeah. Right? Anyway, so we're talking about predictions for 2025. That's what.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, I think we need to wrap this one up. I think we need to wrap this one.
We haven't seen each other in a while.
Can you tell?
Well, many thanks to Connor Price for joining us today. Make sure to check out his music wherever you stream it. Follow him on IG. He's creating a ton of stuff. It's great. And also, there is a feature with Connor in issue 116 of Relevant. The new digital issue is coming out this week. Make sure to follow us for all the latest. Don't miss it. All right. On that note, I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Derek Miner.
I'm Emily Brown.
I'm Marty.
We will see you this is Tuesday, so we'll see you on Friday. Have a great week, everyone.
This is going to be a fun edit.
Fun for who?
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
Hey, this is gonna be a hilarious.
I don't know. You should edit my part.
It started off a little like struggling.
I'm not gonna edit it
We're
at
gonna
all.
get through this, guys.
I was looking at Emily like, what slice did you give him?
No, that's the thing.
He's telling us all the
Marty
apple
and I great
features.
combo right before.
We talked like 10 minutes before, and I was like, that sounds perfect.
Went out
I
the
love
door window. I was like,
everything.
what did I say?
I know. As soon as you started talking, I was like, he's not going to do it. He's going to go somewhere else.
He's not gonna get there. He's not gonna get there.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, he's freestyling.
Relevant Podcast Network.